This is going to be CLIC Book Bulletin number 1 for Santa Fe. Very fancy car location, inventory control, instructions maps for Valley Division, Mojave and First Subdivision Mainline. This is from October 1988. This takes you from Barstow, just west of Barstow, to Bakersfield, bypasses the Bakersfield Yard, and then heads up to Hanford in the Valley Division. This tells you a little bit about what a Santa Fe CLIC book is about. This gives you a list of businesses that they serve. Any one of these could be something that the train or railroad takes care of. Okay, so we're going to start out with Hinkley. Hinkley is immediately west of Barstow. Hinkley, we have Hinkley siding, backtrack, Jim Gray siding, backtrack. And then the map shows Hinkley here, shows Hinkley, and then the station number, and then the tracks. Inside the triangles are mileposts. Here's Jim Gray, and that's station number. Then it gets interesting. This is Boron. On the north side of the Santa Fe main, you have a major open pit mine for mining boron. On the south side, you've got a cement company, and then on the hill immediately to the south of the cement company, you have the rocket site. So when you look at this, all this stuff here north, that's boron. That's all the chemical leads, everything else. This is the town of Boron. Here's a lead that comes out. This dotted line is the original Santa Fe right-of-way. It went up clear across Edwards Air Force Base and then circled around to Mojave. The reason I show this here is technically the rocket plant is further south, but this allows you to see all the details. It says rocket base. Really neat place. I was up there back in 1976 or 77 on Air Force ROTC or Junior ROTC field trip. Saw all kinds of stuff that today I can't even talk about. Okay, continuing west, we have Silt, and then we have Edwards Air Force Base. Here's Silt, and here's Edwards Air Force Base. From what I've talking to Air Force people, the train used to come in this guard shack here, and the Air Force crew would take over the train, do what they're going to do, bring the train back, and then Santa Fe crews would take it back. So, if someone has a better story, go from there, but that's what a Air Force tech sergeant told me many, many years ago. Continuing west, we have Bissell sighting, Sanborn sighting. Here's Bissell and the station number. Their sightings, Sanborn. Next we come into Mojave. Now I did a spin book, which is the Southern Pacific version of a CLIC book, and a CLIC book is a spin book for Santa Fe. Not confusing enough. What's neat about this one here, it gives more detail. So, I know I didn't show the page, I'll flip it over. Here's where the Santa Fe comes in. And it shows that Boron, to Boron it's CTC. Here's Mojave milepost, station number, team track. 812 was the Santa Fe team track in this yard. This is where the Lone Pine sub takes off. And here's where the tracks continue up to Cameron. Something you're going to see, I'll show starting with this one here. It shows there's a phone booth there. In 1988, communications were different. So this lists every phone booth on the SP from Mojave to Bakersfield. So here's your list of stuff. It says that the Southern Pacific yard tracks are not listed intentionally. So these are just ones that the Santa Fe has access to. Next stop is Set Out Track and Monolith. This shows a couple more tracks than the Southern Pacific track book showed, so I'm guessing that Santa Fe had access to more tracks than Southern Pacific did. Come around here. Here's Cameron. Shows dispatcher phone. Phone to the Mojave operator. Shows the creek, a break, and then you've got East Main Track, West Main Track. Phone. And Tehachapi Boulevard. Next page shows sightings, Tehachapi team track, and the Y. Y is long gone today, but in 1988 it was still there. They're moving a dump truck from next to my bus. Again, here shows Summit Switch. Shows the Y. That's now a Pilot gas station or truck stop. But it shows a phone there. Shows a phone there. Coming down, West Main Track, East Main Track. Shows a phone there. Phone there. Tracks continue going west. And look, there's a phone there. Shows Set Out Track. Shows the tunnel numbers. 1716, 1514. Then shows a phone. Then shows that the sidings here have CTC. There's a phone on that side. There's a phone on this side. Then you have tunnel number 10. Shows a phone there. Shows a phone there and shows a CTC in the loop. Tracks continuing west. Another Set Out track. Here's Woodford. You see here. Another phone, another phone. If you're modeling, hey, this is great information. Shows where the different phone booths were. And if you remember anything about Southern Pacific, their phone booths were concrete structures with a weird roof on them. It almost looked like a Chinaman's hat. I'm not trying to be derogatory, but if you ever saw the hat that Chinaman wore, wide brim, covered the whole head and the area and the shoulders, that's what these things look like. I think there's one or two currently at the Tehachapi station. At least I saw them there a couple years ago, and I thought they were going to be part of the display. Okay, here's Cliff. Shows a phone, Set Out track, phone. Shows where the main track is, and you know that that's a siding with CTC. Siding, Set Out track. And here we are coming into Caliente. Tunnel number 2, tunnel number 1. Tehachapi Creek's there. Caliente Road's there. And you got a phone on both sides of the yard. Tunnel number 1/2. I was getting a kick out of that. And then you got CTC on the siding at Ilmon with a phone on both sides. J.R. Simplot Helper Spur. Here's Sandcut and Bina. Not much remains of Bina today. The old feedlot, you can still see parts of it. But you got a phone there, several phones in here. Phones there. That's Sandcut. Then we skip the Bakersfield Yard altogether and continue west to all the different refineries and the tracks serving the different refineries. And here you are. You got Mopeco here, Landco here, Jasro here. And you see that we're now off the Southern Pacific. There are no phone booths. In this case, the circles mark where the mileposts are. Come around. Storage track, oil field. Shows Bakersfield's that way. Here's Rosedale. And all the chemical companies that are there. And Bakersfield's that way. Then we have Northrop King. We have Una and Chrome and all their tracks. And the next place is really busy. I mean, I have been to Shafter, but I do not remember all these tracks. I grew up traveling into the Central Valley with my parents. Here's a list of all the tracks. Camera doesn't want to focus really nice, but there you are. And then we'll turn it around, and here's Shafter. This station number gives a milepost. Shows like a tree of spurs all around it. It shows where the main track is. We have more spurs and more businesses. And more Shafter. That's where Oildale Highway comes across. One of the main roads out there. Johnson Perkins drill track. Storage tracks. And then here is Palmo. Next stop, Wasco. Flower country. At least nowadays it's flower country. There's all the different tracks. And there's Wasco. Look at all those tracks. Another tree growing off here. Shows a depot here. Two more stations. There's the tracks. And we have Elmo. Don't be confused with Sesame Street. This is an actual township out there. And Pond. Both of these are in Kern County. Continuing north, heading up toward Tulare County. We have passing track, storage track. We have Sandrini and Allensworth. I believe Allensworth is in Tulare County. Let's see if this sounds familiar to anyone. The West Isle Line. It's now a private railroad. Used to be served by the Santa Fe. They got one locomotive, and I think they've got like a shuttle truck or something to move things around their plant. And this shows Stoyle, and then the tracks going down to Alpa, and then the West Isle Line coming down off here. Angola sighting. Angola, Angiola, and Blanco. Getting up into Kings County, I believe. Here's all your businesses, all your tracks. And then we have Corcoran. This shows the Visalia district going up that way. This doesn't exist anymore, it's just a trail. In 1988, busy place. Shows Zone 75. Coming in here, more businesses. We have Guernsey and Kings Park. Definitely in Kings County here. Here's Hanford and Shirley. Layton, Conejo, and Monmouth. Getting toward the end of the book. This is sightings. And then shows Bowles, where Bowl is. And it says Calwa is that way, but that's the last page.